Hello folks, in this guide we will be covering the best gear to be acquired within the Rostok zone. I'll basically be giving you all of the best options available, and then I'll go through the most efficient way of working through them all. The main gear we will acquire is the following: the Beril 5M armoured suit, up to 2 sets of the SEVA V suit and the tactical helmet, the unique SPSA shotgun named Sledgehammer, the unique RPM light machine gun named Glutton, the unique VS Vintar sniper rifle named Merc, the M701 Super, the Kharod assault rifle, and the Rhino sidearm, as well as all 4 of the artifacts, every blueprint and attachment within this zone, as well as a handful of additional weapons and supplies along the way. There are a few side notes before we get into this. First and foremost, I've ran this entire route parallel with the main story, so this full guide can be followed whilst progressing for any faction's main questline. There is one single difference in main story progression, being that those allianced with Spark can acquire the unique VS Vintar named Merc. This is acquired during the main story quest. Aside from this, none of this gear actually requires main story quest progression. I would advise exploring Rostok during or after being directed here via the main story, but I would imagine players can visit this location soon. We start our journey from Rostok's more or less central hub. We don't have multiple routes in this guide, as Rostok is a relatively small region, and returning to drop off loot and resupply shouldn't be much of an inconvenience. Regardless, we will cover all gear in a more or less convenient route. Other than that, let's get started. To get the one single difference out of the way, the location for the unique VS Vintar named Merc can be found right here on the map. As previously mentioned, those allianced with the Ward will not be able to collect this weapon. For anyone allianced with Spark, during the main quest, you will be directed here to speak with Scar. Shortly afterwards, Scar will direct you to speak with a technician close by. Merc can simply be found sitting on the shelves within the same room as the technician. Our first official location is Rostok's hub. When first arriving at the bar, the bartender will have a side quest available. Inquire into the arena and proceed with this side quest. Before we get into this, it's important to explain how to acquire this gear. Essentially, upon speaking with Weezer, he will temporarily remove all of our own equipment, and we can find new equipment inside of this locker. Upon winning the round and returning to Weezer, he will remove this gear and direct us to the vault outside, which will contain all of our own equipment. Now, the way in which we acquire the gear from within the arena is by first opening the door to Weezer, but do not enter the room. You can take a few steps inside, but too far and Weezer will automatically initiate a conversation, which will lock you in. Once inside by a step or two, simply drop the weapons, ammo and or armor that you wish to keep. Provided it is inside the room, you're all good. However, you can use spare weapons and ammo to push gear further into the room if needed. Once you've spoken with Weezer, it's important to first collect your own gear from the vault outside before picking up any equipment from the ground. Picking up any of the equipment from the floor first will cause it to disappear from your inventory entirely, so do bear this in mind. By using this strategy, we can acquire the M701 Super Sniper Rifle, a Rhino sidearm, a Kharod assault rifle, a SEVA V suit, and the Beril 5M armoured suit, as well as a whole range of different weapons and armour. The 4th round for the arena is notoriously difficult on the veteran difficulty. I do not have any best advice for how to approach this. My honest advice is to find a guide that specifically specializes in how to complete the arena on the harder difficulties. Otherwise, once the arena has been completed, the final reward for this side quest is the unique SPSA shotgun named the Sledgehammer. Now, I don't usually go out of my way to comment on the gear itself, but this thing is truly a monster and possibly my favorite find so far. So as frustrating as the arena may be for some, I do highly advise completing it. Our next location is east of Malachite's hub, right here on the map. Here we have this hole in the ground. Simply enter on through and disarm the booby trap to find an SVD sniper and a stash right here. Our next location is slightly southwest, right here on the map. Here we will find this old settlement. Head into the following building to find some planks blocking this door. Head inside and then down into the bunker below. Kill the rodents down here, and inside the bunker you will find a range of supplies. Most importantly, in the back room you should find an artifact sitting on this shelf. Now, this was bugged for one of my playthroughs. The artifact doesn't require the scanner to be visible. It should just be sitting on this shelf within this room. If you can't find it, it has likely bugged out for you too. Next, head back outside and in the northeast corner of the settlement, use this vehicle to access the roof of this house. Inside you will find this stash, which has the lead container blueprint for the PSZ-12V Bulat armor. Our next location is west along this road right here on the map. Here you'll find this tunnel entrance. Before heading in, first find a stash right by this car. Next, head inside the tunnel and immediately below this truck should be the tactical helmet. I did find this in multiple different locations around the front of this truck, so if you don't find it right away, consider widening the search. Our next location is the corner of this facility right here on the map. Here we can walk around the back of this building to find this ladder. Once on the roof, drop from this location into the room below to find the stash on the side. Our next location is further into the same facility, right here on the map. Inside this building, you'll find this Stalker next to a scanner. Upon approaching, the Stalker will interact with the scanner. Causing the usual discharge and also causing a bloodsucker to immediately spawn. Once killing the bloodsucker, you can retrieve the dead sponge artifact from the scanner. Our next location is in the west of this facility, right here on the map. First, head down this tunnel. As you enter, navigate upwards to find a stash right here. Next, head back outside and in the anomaly field around this crashed heli, use your scanner to locate an additional artifact. Once retrieved, begin ascending this ladder right here. Once at the top, navigate over to this platform to find the SEVA suit right here. Our next location is west of the last, right here on the map. Here, you simply want to head inside of this facility until coming up against the bloodsucker. Deal with the bloodsucker and continue forward. Before heading through this doorway, turn right and first activate this lever on the side. Next, continue right to find this stash right here. Head back and continue through the doorway. After a short while, you will find this open doorway here. Enter this room to locate the unique RPM light machine gun named the Glutton and the Aramid lining blueprint for the Mask 1 helmet. Our next location is north of the last, right here on the map. Here, you'll find this ruined building. Navigate up the broken walls whilst dealing with the anomalies to access the stash at the very top. Our next location is directly northeast at this marker right here on the map. First, head inside and continue through to the small back room. Do be mindful of booby traps here. Head upstairs and into this small control room to activate the lever on the side. Once done, head back down and into the larger room. This locked door will now be open. Head inside until coming up against the single burrow enemy. After dealing with this, continue through the facility until reaching this section here. You will find this stash containing the high capacity magazine for the GROM S14. Next, continue through the facility to exit on the other side. Once outside, navigate up this excavator. Then drop down onto this scaffolding to locate an additional stash. Our next location is northeast at this building right here on the map. Here, we simply want to head inside the building and then into the room full of anomalies. Take an immediate right to find this hole in the wall. Inside here, you will find a code lock and a safe. The combination can be found within the 3 different PDAs in and around this building. However, feel free to copy off screen. Inside of the safe, you will find a rubber coating blueprint for the RPM light machine gun. Our next location is center of this bog, right here on the map. First, there is an anomaly here that will chase down stalkers with equipped artifacts. I do advise unequipping your own. Once ready, head inside to find a stash and a Fora 221 rifle sitting right here. Fair warning, looting the stash will cause 2 bloodsuckers to immediately spawn. Our next location is this old settlement right here on the map. First, within the anomaly field, we can use our scanner to locate an artifact. Next, head over the road towards this old schoolhouse. Head inside and then upstairs. Once in this room, head through the window to find these pipes. Use these pipes to access the open window and gain access to the locked room. Once inside, you will find the stash. Next, head to the very south of this settlement. At this building, head through the open window to find an additional stash in this locked room. Our final location is just a little further south, right here on the map. Here, we will find this downed heli. Simply head in through the side to find a decent stash right here. Do be cautious, as this heli is heavily irradiated. That's it for this guide, folks. I am roughly halfway through the Stalker guide series by now, and I do intend to have this series completed by mid-January. Naturally, I do have a range of guides on my channel, and I am working hard on many more, so do feel free to stop on by and check things out. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and until next time, peace.